How's everybody's weekend?
It
was good. Hot. Very
Hot as,
hot.
it
hot
was
as balls, man.
relaxing
It,
at home.
it was ridiculous, man.
Oh my god. So bad.
Yeah. So a few times I had to step outside to run errands and stuff. It was just brutal, man. Started off as a dry heat, but today was like all humid and shit. Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, I just came back from walking the dog too, so yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
man.
it was like 90 something degrees.
Yeah. And this is the cool part of the day too, man. They topped out at what, 107 and stuff like that.
Is that gonna be low 80s until like midnight?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. What's crazy is like a week from now, it's gonna be all the way down to like mid 70s. I think like a 30-degree difference between the one week difference. It's crazy.
I saw that. Oh my god. It's gonna
It's
be
ridiculous.
interesting.
I even stopped by work because I noticed the thermostat was like broken. We have a Wi-Fi one. I could take a look at it, and I went there. This thing blew out. It wasn't even on. It blew out. And the other
Oh.
thermostat on the other side of the room was like at 92. That's how hot it was in our office there. So
Damn.
crazy. Not pleasant. Not pleasant.
Not pleasant at all.
Yeah. What do you got? The last hot day is tomorrow, and then Tuesday, I heard it's gonna be regular hot, like 80, 98 or something like that, and then cools off on Wednesday. So, what do you get?
Jeez.
We gotta make it a Wednesday now.
No, seriously. Basically, another 40. We have a 48-hour kind of thing before it gets really cool. So, hopefully, nobody dies. And it smells like, I don't know about you, but you smell the smoke outside. Somewhere, something's on fire.
Yeah, the San Bernardino fire.
Yeah, so good times.
Oh my god.
It's probably the same down in San Diego, right? Somewhere close to you is probably on fire.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. All right. It's just regular hot.
Yeah, just regular hot.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Stuff and Junk Show, where we share our opinions on random subjects from interesting news, social topics, pop culture, our likes and dislikes, things you've seen, heard, or read, what we did, and what we do. You know, stuff and junk. Hello, my name is Albert.
This is Jiaming.
This is Anna.
So recently, recently I actually made a comment on YouTube, and a lot of people, pretty much advise you, like, why you want to do that? Because you're just going to get trolled or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a video from one of the YouTubers I follow. She's also a writer in Sony Santa Monica or whatever the PlayStation studio is. But anyways, she had like a short YouTube clip where she's like actual honest thoughts on Deadpool Wolverine, and she was also saying how the plot is kind of nonsensical, but it was funny and she was entertained, that kind of thing, right? So I put down here in my comment here, this is a good reminder that even if the writing or acting is bad, if you have an enjoyable movie, then you have an enjoyable movie. Which is why I normally roll my eyes whenever people focus too much on poor writing or bad acting, because all that matters is, are you entertained? Are you entertained? So I thought I'll go ahead and read some of the reactions from the YouTubers.
Oh no!
I'm sure everybody was nice and sensible.
Yeah.
Everybody appreciated the thoughtfulness you put into that comment.
They reflected on their.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna. Okay. So here's just some, not all of them, but some. All right. He goes here. I disagree. Just rewatch the first two Deadpool movies. Those movies had heart and the plot made sense, unlike this third one. You can still make a funny movie with good writing. Being entertaining is very subjective. Bad writing can put off a lot of people. Now, first off, I did not respond to any of them, because the last thing I need is to drag it out, right? Yeah. And also, opinions are subjective, so I will not completely disagree with what they have said. With that said, I disagree with some of the stuff they said. But in this one, bad writing can put off a lot of people. Very true, right? Being entertaining is very subjective. Very true. You can still make a funny movie with good writing. Very true. But the opposite is also true, which is my point, is that even if it has bad writing sometimes, it can still be funny and entertaining. There's that. This one goes right here. I really disagree. Being mindlessly and soullessly entertained, like scrolling TikTok for 2 hours, isn't really all that matters. You could have watched or done something that meant more to you than, I guess I was entertained, as long as I don't think about anything I just experienced. Okay, if you follow that sentence. But point is that, hey, if you want to scroll to TikTok, brainlessly and still get entertained, that's your prerogative. I'm not stopping you from that. It doesn't mean that what I'm saying is that. I'm just saying what I said, right? Any comments on that one, guys?
I'm gonna find your comment and I'm gonna write underneath. This is a reminder to not to make comments on social media because it opens up a can of worms. You know what I mean? Never leads to anything good. You know what I'm saying?
So here he goes here. This part is from I'm not gonna say names. This another one is I disagree partially. Part of the fun is how the story is told. What I said doesn't even change that. Now, if this was a game, then gameplay is definitely the most important thing. Okay? And he goes here, but in a movie, if you don't have good acting or writing, then almost all of Marvel movies are awesome, and we know they aren't. So here's just a troll, Marvel hater, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this one is, to be fair, an enjoyable movie with good writing and acting, and an enjoyable movie with nonsense writing or acting is a worthy distinction to make. Otherwise, what? Should people say Terminator 1 and 2 and Fast and Furious 10 are all enjoyable movies? Therefore, there's no need to distinguish between them? I didn't have to say that they're all the same. There is definitely the distinction between good writing, entertaining, bad writing, entertaining. There's a difference. I'm not picking sides, guys. And this post right here is also another good example of what's wrong with the internet right now. You have to pick sides. It's a zero-sum game. You can't just be in the middle. And that's part of the problem. And I'm not surprised that this comment showed up on my post. So right here is, I agree. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually reading an agree part. I agree. Not every movie should be criticized to be of high quality or Oscar-worthy. Some movies can just be made for entertaining, and that's enough. Room for all kinds of categories, genres, and movies. Sometimes I watch serious. Sometimes I watch pointless movies. Room for all. Amen, buddy. Amen. Okay. This guy goes here. This exact same effect happens with monster movies like Godzilla. They can be great movies with a trash plot. Exactly. My point exactly. And let's see. What else here can I mention here?
I think you just put up the link. People can find it. You have to read. Are you gonna read every comment?
I don't even know exactly if you can link a comment on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Can you?
Screen capture?
You can.
You can.
All right. I'll figure it a way. I'll figure out a way to put a link. And then there you go.
You can.
So you two, your thoughts on my comment?
I already commented. Anna, you want to go next?
Your comment is not to make comments. That's not a real answer.
Seems like the wisest course.
I feel like we have
Seems
this
like
discussion.
the best advice I could give for your mental health and stuff. I have an actual comment on your actual comment though.
Okay.
But I already spoke to Anna.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've had this discussion a lot, and
True.
even in our group, it can turn like a YouTube comment, and people disagree, and I love that someone dropped in Fast and Furious because that's also something in our conversations that we've had.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Why can't people just have fun? That's my thing.
Well, okay, my reaction to their comments and just the internet in general on this whole zero-sum game thing about things you can be entertained on. My feeling is that people need to justify why they like or don't like something. And a lot of it is, if they don't like it, they can blame the writing or the acting or whatever, right? I'm not entertained because the writing and acting is bad. What if the writing and acting is really good, the director is really good, it's an Oscar-nominated movie, but you're bored as hell? That's not entertainment, right? So how do you classify that subject matter? And as far as like a dumb written movie that's funny, you can see that for a lot of comedies out there. But they make you laugh. The plot may be dumb, but they make you laugh. It's entertaining. So this is why I fall on both sides. That also my classic argument. What about B movies? B movies with low budget who have to make do with what they got, and you can tell it's shoddily made. But heck, if you're entertained by it, all power to you. You're entertained by it. So I feel like people are so stuck up on the whole idea that if I like this movie, the movie itself has to technically be good in every aspect. And I do not agree with that. So yeah. Okay.
So here's my whole thing. When I've seen a lot of movies over the years and stuff like that. This is me. This is where I land right now. It's 47-year-old and stuff like that. When I'm going to watch a movie in the theater or at home, I look for certain things that make a good movie. Good acting, good plot, good story, all that. It's important to me. Those are sort of like I have certain ideas of what a good movie is. But here's the biggest but. Christopher Nolan mentioned this, and I thought about this recently too. Movies are only like 110 years old and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's a relatively very new art form. You know what I mean? Compared to books, plays, what do you call it? Opera, whatever. You know what I mean? It's a really new art form. So whatever standards I have for this stuff, I'm not gonna be that precious about it. You know what I mean? A movie can work on it for many different reasons. You know what I mean? I could see like boobies in a movie. I go, you know what? Thumbs up. Everybody should see this movie. I saw boobies. You know what I mean? I'm not that precious about any kind of opinion. You know what I mean? And again, you're talking to somebody who's 47. I've seen a lot of movies. When I was in my 20s, I saw a lot of classical movies. I actually took classes. I read books and stuff like that. So I do have a foundation of like what is. Of movie history and background, of what it makes to make a good movie and stuff like that. But at 47, I've arrived at a point where I say, you know what? I'm not that precious about any of this stuff. You know what I mean? It's not that big a deal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
For whatever reason you like a movie, go for it. You know what I mean? I might vehemently disagree. Here are the reasons why. Blah blah blah. We have a discussion. We have a discourse. We have a conversation, and that's it. At the end of the day, okay, let's just everybody move on. You know what I mean? So it's not worth. It's not getting bent out of shape for. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I agree. I'm not intellectual enough to rate all of that in a movie. I just go in, watch it, and I like it. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, this movies are stupid, or I don't know. I just don't comment on YouTube things, Albert, because you're just opening a can of worms. And we already opened those can of worms in our group chat. Do you want more?
I will say this though. I will say this though. Part of going to the movie is having a conversation. You know what I mean? That's to me is important. You know what I mean? But a good conversation, a stimulating conversation, a conversation that's based on experience and wisdom and merit and stuff. Merit and stuff like that. That's completely different from what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I have no problem with having people commenting or having their opinions and stuff like that. But having like an earnest, a thoughtful one, I don't know if you're gonna find it on social media. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's there somewhere. Just you gotta, needle in the haystack kind of situation.
Yeah, find it on Reddit. I'm sure there's what is the that's another topic. What's the best social media for Letterboxd? You know what I mean? Like real, legitimate, stimulating movie conversation. Reddit, Letterboxd.
Honestly, I would say that I've had a lot of good movie conversation in Threads. So bully the Threads. For the record, listeners, I thought the writing and the acting in Deadpool Wolverine was actually pretty good. So I don't fall in that camp. I just needed to remind people of the opposite.
I didn't know that people were hating on it, considering that we made $1 billion.
Yeah, no, people are actually hating on Deadpool Wolverine as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are people online that are doing that. Yeah.
Well, there's always a backlash. You know what I mean?
They couldn't handle how sexy Wolverine was.
Yeah. No. It's like the one comment I mentioned. The guy goes like, Deadpool 1 and 2 had good writing and acting. What happened to Deadpool 3? The one guy said that. So that's an example of the people who have
I could be like, you know what? I hated 1 and 2 and I loved 3.
See,
so there you go.
Once again, it goes to what I say.
Yeah. And also going back to our review of Deadpool Wolverine, I mentioned I like 1 and 2. More and stuff like that, but that doesn't diminish 3 and what they try to accomplish.
Correct.
I wouldn't know. I was on that episode. So
did we even have an episode with Wolverine? I thought I remember.
Yeah, we did it without me.
Oh, that's right. We did.
Without even looking back and thinking about it, I'm sure it's your fault, Anna. How about that?
It is my fault. It is my fault.
Okay. All right. It's the 805th episode of the show, and as of this recording, it's currently 4:22 a.m. September 9, 2024 in Belfast, Northern Ireland. And it's time to take a look and see what's up.
What's up?
So, over at Belfast, Northern Ireland, there is a luxury cruise line ship that is docked over there for repairs. Mm-hmm. Problem here is that ship was supposed to have set depart for a 3.5 year around the globe trip, and they were supposed to leave in May of this year, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't left yet. So everybody that I had tickets for that round trip around the world 3.5 years thing have essentially been like docked the whole time, They've stayed in a hotel nearby, I believe, is what they were given, and wow, I mean, wow, that's quite the wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the 3-year trip, and this is not the first time I've heard of stories like this. The other examples where people have signed up for what do you call it, lifetime cruise, not lifetime, but like long voyages that people have sold their houses or whatever, stuff like that, and then what? Nope, they didn't sell enough tickets. The whole thing's canceled. Yeah, so yeah. If you're like a retiree, I guess do you have old people listening to this? If you're like a retiree looking for like a cheap way to like, I don't know, to avoid more mortgage or what do you call it, property tax, this is not, a cruise is not the way. You know what I mean? Go to Philippines like everybody else. Go to Thailand. You know what I mean? Well, find Lady Boy in Thailand. You know, just do that.
A lot of retirees, they just book one of those year trips on a cruise, and then just do that, and then after that's done, they book another one. Yeah, and they said they did the math, and it's actually more affordable than having to pay for a place.
What you're saying is don't put your money into, don't invest in like 3 hour or 3 year, 4 year, whatever. Just take it like a year to year kind of a thing.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying some retirees have used this as an option.
Yeah. Okay.
Instead of going to a retirement home, they just go on a cruise, and then they're served meals, they play games on the cruise, and they're traveling the world. You know, it's like that's a pretty good retirement as far as I'm concerned, right?
Yeah. If it works,
it's the worst.
If the company doesn't go out of business and stuff, but
that's a good point though. If this is going on with this ship, this cruise line, I mean, what happens if they go out of business? All these people are just been stuck there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's if it sounds too good to be true, or you know what I mean, it's just like no, just don't. You know what I mean? I don't know. To me, just be near land. You know what I mean? If there's anything I've taken away from COVID, is you should be near land. You know what I mean? Be close to a hospital.
Now, this article in CNN Travel that I got this from, they actually got some pretty good responses from the passengers. Right? Here's what it says here. We're having a good time, said Lynette Kanan, who is booked to sail with her partner Johan Bowden. The pair, who were previously living in Hawaii, paid $100,000 for their cabin, which will remain theirs for the ship's lifetime, estimated to be around 15 years. Wow. They then pay a $3,500 monthly fee to be on board. Kanan and Bowden spoke to CNN from Stirling, Scotland, which they were visiting after Edinburgh and Glasgow. The pair has spent the summer traveling Northern Europe, taking in 9 countries from Sweden, where Bodine is originally from, to Scotland. We're not stuck in Belfast. We've been traveling, she said.
Yeah.
It's a startup.
They're pissed drunk in Ireland and Scotland. That's what they're doing. That's fine.
It's a startup, and we both run businesses. We know there will be hiccups when starting something, so we weren't that worried. It's been 3 months, but they've been transparent about what the hiccups are. We've learned a lot about ships.
It's like white people stuff. This is crazy white people stuff. That's what it sounds like.
Stuff.
I mean,
this is white people stuff.
Look how much they spend. Yeah, this is not just white people. This is rich people stuff.
Yeah. No, it's white people stuff.
No, I think the middle class stuff. Middle class bullshit. Middle class white people stuff. Just stay in Ireland. I heard Ireland's fine too. Ireland, Scotland. Just retire there and stuff. Piss drunk. Fine.
Yeah. Next up, let's move on to Japan over here, where there is. Have you heard of the pufferfish?
Oh yeah, I saw the story too. Yeah.
The pufferfish is like.
I saw that Simpsons episode. How dare you?
I'm sorry. What?
The Simpsons episode.
Oh, there was an episode about that. Yeah, fugu.
The master chef was out there making out with his chicken stuff. Like, don't disturb me. you
die.
Yeah.
So fugu, a delicacy that can kill if its poisonous parts are not properly removed. Well, 5th grader Karin Tabira passed a test this summer and is now certified to slice and gut the fish for consumption. She's only 10 years old and has become the youngest person authorized to prepare fugu. First off, why?
I've got hobbies.
I guess
start them off young.
I guess it's her hobby. Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'll give her lots of credit.
I mean, like, who started it? Like, were her parents into it, or she just was like, you know what, I want to learn how to do this, and her parents were like, eh.
I mean, that's a good question.
Like,
I don't see in the article anything about like how she came across this. Oh, look at she trained since February at Fukunari and Kumamoto-based farm and wholesaler. So she's like, she had this in her mind to do this.
Yeah. this is probably training for a larger, like a big, like a future career and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, she's going to be like a master sushi chef or whatever and stuff like that. That's part of it and stuff like that.
That's
You know
what it seems like.
But,
That's what it seems like.
I mean, the whole thing. The real question is like, would you trust a 10-year-old to cut your puffer fish? You know what? I'm not even going to put it in that position. You know what I mean? I don't want to eat anything where there's a possibility I might die. I don't care if you're like a 90-year-old grandmaster that I cutting this damn fish. Like, what? It's okay.
I mean, for the most
wait, hold on. There are other fish in the sea, right? You know what I mean?
I mean, for the most part, it's not like you know the chef is when they serve you, right? You eat it, right? Yeah. Then maybe they can remind you, oh, by the thing you ate, made by a 10-year-old.
I'm just saying, if I see puffer fish on the menu, I'm not taking a chance at all. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are. I don't care who's back there. You know what I mean? I mean, there's still other fish, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Are we out of fish? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, tuna and salmon are still there.
Yeah.
And for this next story, I'll let Anna take over here. The title goes, despite tech-savvy reputation, Gen Z falls behind in keyboard typing skills. Anna.
Did you read it?
Did you?
No. I just said things to you because you read things. I don't read them. I
see.
Take ownership.
Oh, you're doing the Albert method of articles or the WhatsApp.
I was just like, you were saying we need topics, and I saw that, so I sent it over.
Okay. Well, I mean, the report cited data from the U.S. Department of Education showing that in 2000, a staggering 44% of high school graduates took a keyboarding course. I didn't know they still had keyboarding courses in high school. I know they were in my time, but that was like 30 years ago.
100 years ago. I still remember what do you call it? I took typing and typewriter actually back in the day. Our typewriter teacher was a BS position that they gave to the wrestling coach. The wrestling coach was like 100 years old. You know what I mean? He fought like in the Civil War back in the day and stuff like that. But he needed a job to continue wrestling and stuff like that. Yeah. So they gave him that position. I remember that old man teaching us what do you call it? Using a typewriter and stuff like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also later on I took a keyboard. Yeah. I remember, I forgot what the program was, but they timed how many words you can type per minute and stuff like that. Yeah. God, I feel old.
They said they had like a KB competition as a spelling bee style competition designed to encourage typing practices. The results were eye-opening, it says here. The fastest student reached an impressive 91 words per minute, while the average fourth grader speed improved from a sluggish 13 words per minute to 25 words per minute. That's a huge gap.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know why this is still a thing. Nobody gives a rat's ass about how fast you can type and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, nowadays I don't think that's like a thing, but back then, it's like, oh, I can type, 100 words per minute. You're hired. But I mean, it's like each generation is losing something maybe, because like I feel like I'm losing how to write like with pen and paper and then cursive. Right. Mm-hmm. I feel like those skills I keep like every week. I try to make a goal like, okay, I'm gonna like practice handwriting. Yeah. Because every time I have to write a birthday card, oh my lord, I have to apologize and be like, I am so sorry. It looks like a second grader wrote it, but I just don't have that skill.
Yeah. Other than my signature, I don't do cursive at all. I don't use cursive at all anymore.
I can still use handwriting as a skill, but I'm definitely much, much, much slower than I was years ago. That's for sure. Like if I like really focus on it, it can look really nice and pretty. But if I want to just like write really fast, it looks ugly as hell. It's like chicken scratches, essentially. Yeah. So that's where we are now in the iPhone world.
It's so sad, like and people are like, "Oh, I don't care about this." I'm like, it's the oldest way of writing. I don't want to lose it.
This not that big a deal. I don't think it's that big a
deal. This could be like an SNL skit where it'll be like a Janet Jones type, and then they'll come to a puzzle, and the puzzle will be like, type this in 50 words or less, or that kind of thing. Yeah. And then they'll have a keyboard, and then the guys will go like, Siri, say this, and then they go, Siri? Like, there is no Siri. You gotta type. Yeah. Like, type what?
Yeah, what's gonna happen in like future and stuff? Like, how are we gonna record our history when technology dies?
Yeah, they just... Well, in the future, they just plug the computer to your brain, and you just like think it.
But what if it's like the Matrix and we don't have technology?
Yeah, well, there's that too. Okay. And that's what's up. You can find this podcast on Instagram, Threads, and YouTube at Stuff Jug Show. You can find me, Albert, on Threads and YouTube as well at Albert5x5.
You can find me on social media, JIAMINGLIOU.
Sorry, I had a yawn. You can find me on social media at Anna Voltage or on my other show, Most Extreme Ranking Challenge.
Music has been provided by Gloomy June. Updates, contact info, ways to support us, and everything else is on the show notes found at whowhatwhereswhy.com. Before we wrap this up, I figured I'd as well address this from what happened last week. So in last week's recording, you may or may not have noticed it, but I was actually like not completely there. I had like a huge migraine going on, and I had the chills and whatnot. And it turns out,
God.
I guess what the,
You were pregnant. You were.
I guess
You took a pregnancy.
I guess I had what a lot of celebrities would call heat exhaustion, right? So because it's been hot lately, but
Oh yeah, but you actually had heat exhaustion. You don't need to go read
yeah,
that.
well,
Say that.
the big telling sign was at a certain point I was sweating very profusely,
Mhm.
and then it just suddenly stopped. Like I wasn't sweating anymore.
Yeah.
And I felt
Old
like
sweats.
I was freezing. Right. That was the worst part of it all, where I felt like I was freezing. Like I don't understand, like why am I so cold? You know, what kind of thing. And
Yeah.
and then at a certain point, my chest started hurting, and that's kind of when the panic came in, and then I ended up in the ER.
Mhm.
Right. So in the ER, we were there for maybe about 3, almost 4 hours, and we didn't get out till like after 2:00 in the morning.
Well, that's the ER for you and stuff.
But I never actually. I think I've only been to the ER 3 times in my life, including this.
Mhm.
The first time was when I was really young. My siblings were running around the house, and I fell.
Oh, same.
I fell
It's
on the corner of a glass table.
Mhm.
And,
Oh no.
And then,
More or less the same. Yeah.
And then at first, like I didn't feel anything, right? And then everybody was staring at me. And then at a certain point, everything went black. I couldn't see anything. Why? Because there's blood dripping off my forehead.
Dun, dun, dun.
so it was covering my eyes, and I was running. I can't see. Then everybody tried to chase me down to stop me, so they could like get me in the car and get to the hospital. So there's that. And then the other time was, I would say, almost 2 decades ago, when I had like a knee injury where I was lifting something, and then I heard a pop, and then next thing you know, next thing you know, I couldn't like move my leg properly. Like it only went to a certain angle, and then it stops right there. So that happened. So we're at the ER for that one. That came out kind of weird because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And then I was in medical for a month. Then at like a certain point, I tried to get up from the sofa. And
They sent you home that day. They sent you home that day. It's like, hey, we can't find anything.
Well, yeah,
Hey,
seriously, they can't find anything. Just lie down, rest,
this
keep
is
your legs up.
was this before X-rays, right? Or MRIs?
They did an X-ray. They did an X-ray. They couldn't find anything.
Oh,
But they couldn't explain why it hurt and why I couldn't move my leg past a certain point. Right.
Did you mention that you heard a pop?
Yeah, that's all mentioned. That's all mentioned. So the pop in our conclusion was a ligament. There was a ligament that got stuck or got tangled up or whatever. So then at a certain point during my medical leave, I got up out of the sofa and I heard another pop, and it just popped back in place, I guess.
Oh my God! They told me. Oh my God!
That was it. That was all I needed to do. I guess I just I had to do what they do in the movies and just force it, you know. So the funny thing is, that a couple of years later, it happens to my other leg, and from my past experience, I did just force it. I just popped it back out. So there we go.
You know what? I'm not gonna go see a doctor. You know what? I got this. I'm gonna go pop this. I see this. I've been to this rodeo before. I know the song.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, but my visit to the ER this time around, it was they took 2 blood tests, an X-ray, and they gave me some medicine. That's more or less pretty much it. The blood test, they had no problem the first time finding my vein. The second time they actually got it from my hand, which I've never had before. Have you ever did that before?
Yeah, the hand vein.
Yeah, the hand vein thing.
I've never had the hand
They
vein.
did that to my mom.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts more. That hurts so much more.
Yeah.
That hurts so much more. Yeah. I'm like, you could just use the same hole. No, I can't use the same hole.
Yeah.
like, it's right there. It's right there. Ah!
I don't know why they can't go to your other arm and stuff. The other arm.
Funny story. My right arm, if you get blood from that, it coagulates really fast for some reason.
Oh, I think you told me this.
Yeah. So there was one time where I was giving blood Well, I'll give you blood. I was doing a blood test, and the person would go, okay, I'm just gonna take it from her right arm. Like, can you do the left arm? It's like, no, right arm should be fine. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I sat there, and then she comes back and she's like, how come it's not done yet?
Yeah,
Then she
that
leaves.
is weird because
Because
it's what do you call it? Because your off arm is like the weaker arm, so you should take blood from your strong arm. Like I'm left-handed and stuff like that, so always when I have to draw blood,
you're left-handed. Okay.
Yeah, I'm left-handed. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Come on. But then I always,
Anna, did you know that?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I'm technically ambidextrous and stuff.
Okay,
I can do both hands.
Okay,
so anyway,
go ahead.
The point is, I always say left hand. And the one time they used the right hand, I wasn't paying attention. The right arm, I wasn't paying attention, and they poked me a bunch of times. Like, hey, I was like, oh wait, hold on a second. Left arm, please. Thank you.
Yeah. But for me, it was like the one time when she came back and it wasn't done. She left, came back, and it's like it still wasn't done.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I guess I'll go ahead and try your left arm. And in my head, I'm like, I told you so. I told you so.
You call a bitch? Is that what you did?
No, I
You said it under your
I was
breath?
being very kind about it. But
And this time when you went to ER, did they give you an IV? I asked you that.
they did not. It was just blood test, and that's it.
That's a bummer. They should just give you
It's a
IV, man.
bummer.
As an adult, here's my story. As an adult, I've been to the ER. Knock on wood. I've been to ER once and stuff. And the reason I went to ER was because it was like a storm. I had like 5 different things wrong with me all at the same time. So I came back. I was flying back from Hong Kong to LA, right? And right at the airport, I ate something that gave me food poisoning, right? So on the plane, I had chills and I had food. And once I landed, I just destroyed the bathroom. Stuff like that. Anyway, but that's number one. Number two, during my trip in Hong Kong, I actually had a gout attack. So I got like Chinese gout medicine I was taking.
Okay.
So that's 2, right? And then in 3, I think I was sick in general because of the what do you call it? The jet lag, the food poisons. I think I got really sick. But the 4th thing that kicked in was during this period, my gums started growing, or like a growth came out. I had like herpes. That's a joke, right? That's a joke. Anyway, my gums got.
Or was it?
Or was it? No, it got infected. They got infected and stuff like that. So I had to be on like antibiotics. So I was on all these medications, jet lag and everything. And I went to work one day. I just felt dizzy, tired. I couldn't. I overreacted. I called for an ambulance to take me to the hospital. I probably didn't need it. I probably just could have went to urgent care and stuff like that. But anyway, I got in an ambulance, went to the thing, blah blah blah. They took all the blood tests, just like you, blah blah blah. But the thing that really cooked me right up was an IV. They just shot me an IV, and I'm telling you, I've never felt better in my life. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I hear.
I've never felt. I swear I could have ran through a wall. I could have, you know what I mean? I could have just ran home. I've never felt better after that IV, man. The IV, chef's kisses. I understand why when giving IVs in Vegas became like a thing. I like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? To cure your hangovers and rough nights. I get it. IV is chef's kiss. It's magical. I've never been happy since. It was like 10 years ago this thing happened. I haven't been happy since.
Been chasing that high ever since.
I've been chasing that high ever since, man. Any excuse to get an IV in my veins. It's like, go ahead.
Give me the IV.
I don't know.
One other thing that was different from the ER visit was getting the X-ray. I never got the X-ray this way before, but they wanted me to hug this box. There's like a box. There's like a box. There's like a box that's like torso size. It's just kind of like just standing there, and go ahead and hug this, and you hug it, and then that's when they take the X-ray. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Something new.
Yeah.
How about you, Anna? Have you ever needed to go to ER?
Just take my mom to the ER.
Not for you though, right?
Yeah.
Not for me, just my mom.
Yeah, knock on wood.
I think when I was little, probably. But I have my experience with hospitals. But when you said heat, chest pains, and all that, I've been through the training, and I was like, "You gotta go. You cannot mess with this. Please go, because it could turn really bad quickly."
Yeah.
So,
the real question is, how'd you get did you not turn the AC? Is that what it is?
Did I turn on? Well, it was a hot day.
What
the
happened?
AC was already. What are you thinking about?
Like, how did the onset come on? Because I know, like, when I've had something like that, it's because I was dehydrated. I was in the hot sun.
I mean that kind of applied to the same day too, I suppose. Shrug. I don't know. I really don't know. It just happened.
I just assume it was because you were Asian. You turned the AC and stuff like that. You want to save that money and stuff like
the
that.
The AC was on, but I have the house at 80, 78, 76. It's actually kind of the range it does
Mhm.
that I have it set up. So I can't blame it on that. It was definitely something. It was just some kind of reaction to being out of the heat kind of thing, So
Yeah.
heat
The
exhaustion.
heat sickness, it happens. It happens.
All right.
So,
Well, there we go.
I'm glad that you're okay.
Yes, the doctor did say that based on the test, nothing life threatening. So, knock on wood.
You just gotta watch your body now because it might not take heat as well as before. Not that it did, but just drink lots of water, people.
Yes,
Electrolytes.
that too. My dog is barking because when I knocked on wood, I guess she thought that there was somebody in the door.
Yeah. They should.
There she is.
The first thing they should have done was just give you an IV. IV, no matter what. There's no downside to IV, right? You know what I mean? You can't OD on IV, right? Just pop in your vein and stuff like that. Oh, so delicious. Just a warmth that goes over your body and stuff like that. Oh man.
Just request it.
Man, I want an IV now.
I know, seriously. Oh,
All right.
IV's the best.
This was episode 805 of the Stuff and Junk Show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, this podcast has been a Who What Where's Why production. It's just me. I don't know if it's just me, but every time we were doing a recording, I feel like it's been a long time since the last recording. Is that just me?
It's been a week, right?
It's only been a week. In fact, it's been less than a week because last week we recorded on Monday. Right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, but for whatever reason, every day when we do recording, I feel like it's been a while since we recorded. That's like what goes on in my head. But no, not really.
You do act like it's your first time recording.
Oh, hey! Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, okay.
Got you there.
I'll take it.
No, yeah, I miss you guys, so yeah. Okay,
okay, all right then.
You guys.
Welcome to the Stuff and Junk Show. The Stuff and Junk Show. Stuff and Junk. The Stuff and Junk Show. With your host Albert, Ruthie, Jiaming, and Ann. They share their opinions on random subjects, from interesting news, social topics, pop culture, their likes and dislikes, things they've seen, heard, or read, to what they did and what they do. Stuff and Junk. Welcome to the Stuff and Junk Show. The Stuff and Junk Show. Stuff and Junk. The Stuff and Junk Show. Jiaming and Ann, they share their opinions on random subjects, from interesting news, social topics, pop culture, their likes and dislikes, things they've seen, heard, or read, to what they did and what they do. Stuff and Junk. Welcome to the Stuff and Junk Show. The Stuff and Junk Show. Stuff and Junk. The Stuff and Junk Show.